On paper, the 2025 Panigale V2 S might raise an eyebrow. Less peak power than before, a departure from the Desmo legacy. However, if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll actually find out that it makes a whole lot of sense. Because Ducati haven't just made changes for change's sake. The new V2S and V2 have been built from the floor up to be sharper, smoother and more fun where it really counts the most, on the road. It's got a brand new engine that's lighter, more efficient, easier to meet emissions regs and still responsive enough at road relevant RPM. I'm Usernamekate and I'm asking you to pop the spec sheets down. What we want to find out is simple. Have Ducati created the ultimate everyday sports bike? I'm going to throw my leg over it and find out. This is the 2025 Ducati Panigale V2 S, a £16,995 middleweight sports bike with serious intent. It's powered by an 890cc V-twin, making 120 horsepower and 93.3 Nm of torque. The S comes with Öhlins suspension front and rear, Brembo M50 brakes and Bosch cornering ABS as standard. You get a 5-inch TFT dash, riding modes, quick shifter and auto blipper, full LED lighting and a host of electronics in the Ducati suite. It weighs just 176 kilograms dry, has a seat height of 837mm and a 15-litre tank. Built for the road, but ready for the track. So I filmed my review footage in normal style where I ride and talk about how I feel, but unfortunately I had total audio failure on this bit of the ride. So I'm just going to insert footage from my trip to Belgium on the Ducati V2S where I do talk about different aspects of the bike. Then I'll round it up with a comprehensive pros and cons list. Enjoy!
Oh, that sounds mental.
I know, it sounds great, doesn't it?
I'm too short to be pedalling.
Is it bumpy?
Yeah, it is on the Panigale Life.
You alright, Kate? A little bit tall.
Little stumpers, they're trying their best. They always try.
How is the Panigale touring bike?
It's the best tourer ever.
We are 417 miles in.
And the butt is not in tatters.
How's the back?
Fine. It doesn't really like the town speeds that much. Like second gear's a bit, but it's a Panigale. What do you expect? Rambamba. Oh, sounds delicious.
Yeah.
You know what? That bike is completely silent.
Yeah.
That's induction mode, you can that noise.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you ready for what the day's to bring?
Oh yes, I cannot wait. Off we go. Oh yes. Woohoo!
Oh, this is nice.
look how flowy this is. Oh, the Panigale is just living its best life on these roads.
I bet it is.
It is living its best life. It
How
feels
smooth they are.
great. Smooth roads. Oh man.
The roads are just buttery smooth.
Oh, just gorgeous. Oh, flowy goodness. Would you look at that?
The twin exhausts do look real good on that bike.
Oh man, I really like this bike a lot. So much. I just wish they weren't so expensive.
Yeah.
But it is definitely, like, I would own this bike 100%. And I ride a lot of bikes, so I don't say that about a lot of them. Like, I say
Yeah.
that about the Rocket 3, the Super Duke. Definitely say that about this. Oh, it's so good. It rides mint, it handles mint. And it drives out lovely. Nice.
Oh, that was sharp.
That was mint. Oh, that was a lovely bit of road, that.
Yeah. It's just so smooth.
So smooth. Absolutely obsessed.
Outside.
Oh, the bike is lovely and warm.
You like that bike, don't you?
You are?
You've gelled with that bike, haven't you?
I love it. I love it so much.
So would you say it's a great touring bike?
You are?
Would you say it's a good touring bike?
Yeah.
Oh wow, happen.
Yeah, I've not struggled one bit, really. But then again, actually no, because a normal person's touring bike isn't the same for me, because I have a Sherpa. I think this is my favourite sports bike that I've ever ridden.
Really?
Yeah.
It beat the GSXS? GSXR?
Yeah.
The GSX8R, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm
Because it's
surprised
got
at
that it's got that extra power, Mike, that's
Yeah.
really nice. And the build quality, like just how it looks, and
Well,
it's
is
hard
it-
to beat, but it's $8 two
It's two bikes.
8Rs.
It costs two motorbikes.
Yeah.
You could almost buy an 8R and a V-Strom.
Yeah. That is my soul food always. Sure. But now I have a problem because I really like the Panigale and I don't want to give it back. I'm fuming. It's not as Panigale as it should be, and it makes it incredible.
For the road.
For the road, yeah. But I can imagine for the track it'd be mint as well. Oh no, not the squeaky back brake of doom on this thing. Oh no. How embarrassing.
This is a nice road.
Woo! Gorgeous. Look at this. My bike just cut out.
Yours?
My clutch is fully in and it cut out.
Oh,
Well, it
yeah.
might not have been fully in because I was 2 fingers out.
Yeah. Are you trying to get your knee down? Because you're very, very far away.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Oh wow, this is real steep. I mean, I don't think the leans are necessary, Kate. It does look mint, that Ducati. Them exhausts are cool, really cool.
Yeah, they look great, don't they, from the back? Oh yes. Oh yes. Beautiful. Oh.
Oh, we've got a few of them.
Roads on roads on roads.
Oh wow. It's like a damn race circuit.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And then there's a right.
Oh yeah, look at this. Wow. It's just lovely, aren't they? Right everybody, it's the end of the day and I'm 800 miles in, bonding with the Ducati Panigale V2 S, and I've got a few pros and I've got a few cons. So firstly, I'm going to start with the pros. You wouldn't think that this bike could do some touring on, and admittedly I don't have the panniers, I'm literally just running a rucksack. But you would think that on your wrists, on your back, the riding position, you know, stereotypically of a Panigale is extremely extreme. However, with this, the ergonomics have completely changed for this year, and we have bars that are a bit flatter, a bit higher up, less clip on it and aggressive. We have still very sporty foot pegs, but just the whole rider triangle is just designed to not have you folded up like a pretzel like the other Panigales. And 800 miles, a lot of that has been, you know, long slog motorway. There's been a fair few twisties as well, and I've never once felt like I can't do this anymore, it's too extreme, it's too painful. I think it's actually been pretty easy to ride this and do all that mileage, and we're only halfway through the trip as it stands. So yeah, it surprised me. The ergonomics are definitely a plus point, and I know people might say, well, if the ergonomics have softened up a little bit for the road, that's going to compromise it on the track. Well, it's funny you should say that. We did a parade lap today at Spa-Francorchamps, and of course it's not a guns blazing, balls to the wall, ride around the track, absolutely thrashing the thing, but just riding around at a nice flowy pace does give you an idea of how this thing could handle on a track. And you know, if you've ridden a lot of bikes on track, you know how they're going to feel, and it just felt wonderful. It just felt like it was on rails, it turns really quickly, it's very agile, you know, it's not a stereotypical steering lock of a long kind of sports bike. It's actually very nimble and just turns so easily. U-turns, not stressful on this. I mean, the only aspect for me that's a bit stressful is the height, because I am quite short, but honestly the bike just spins around, no problem. So yeah, I would say that the ergonomics are great, and if you thought that that would make it pretty crap on track because it's now less aggressive, less sporty, less focused, I still think that you could have an absolutely amazing time on track on this bike. Moving on to my second pro, the weight. Oh my gosh, it's like a toy, it's so light. There's nothing really else to say about it. It's just a delight to push around, especially if someone like me who's an absolute weed, not very strong. It's just great to be able to not worry about situations because you know that you can pretty much just get it in and out and move it exactly where you want it. So weight, 100% a pro, so light, one of the lightest sports bikes I've ever ridden and pushed around, and yeah, that works in my favour. Another pro, the sound. Oh my gosh, the induction roar on this is absolutely addictive. In fact, I think Mike is probably sick of the second-hand sound of this through the intercom, because when you're riding along, it actually, to other people, doesn't seem that loud, but when you're the rider in the cockpit and you get that induction roar and it just courses through your ears, when you just wah, it's really addictive. It sounds really aggressive, really sporty. On the way here, I actually had a kid waving out of his dad's Audi R8 and he was revving it as he went past. And I was stuck behind a caravan because I got boxed in. I thought, no, I need to get out and give him a few revs. So you got to make the kids happy when they're waving at you. And I literally revved it, and I was not expecting the ruckus, dirty sound to come out of that exhaust. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, and that is a bit of me. And yeah, love, love, love the sound. Another thing I've got to say, just the handling, it's absolutely sublime on this. When we have been hitting the twisties, it's just been flowing round, stable as ever, planted as ever. It really does ride like it's on rails, and everything just feels composed and like nothing's getting bent out of shape. It's just gliding round the tight twisties with absolute ease. It kind of makes riding feel really, really easy. So yeah, the handling of this thing is wonderful. It just turns at any slight input. It's awesome. Like, you just weight a peg a little bit and you're in the direction you want to go. You just counter steer a little bit, boom, you're there. It just reacts really nicely to your inputs. And yeah, it's not slow steering, it's agile. It just moves so beautifully on the twisties, and it is a massive pro. Honestly, you got to ride it to experience just how easy it is to flick about. It's chef's kiss. Another pro, the looks. Oh, the styling. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's sharp, it's edgy. I mentioned on the ride review, on the ride bit, that when I first saw it, wasn't that keen. You know, I wasn't really struck by it, thought it was a bit of a step backwards. But actually, you know, coming back from the coffee stops and looking at the back end of the bike with that exhaust and the lights, and then looking at it from the front with the thin daytime riding lights, it just looks slick and it just looks aggressive. And yeah, it's definitely a bike that you double take at and you look back at the petrol station. Without a doubt, it's gorgeous. Another thing, the quick shifter auto blipper, silky smooth, great to have it. Sometimes, you know, if I think it's user error more than the bike, but sometimes if I don't quite hit it firm enough, it can kind of feel like it lags a little bit before it changes up, almost like it holds the gear and, you know, it makes a noise like and then goes in. But I think that's just me with a light touch on the old foot, because most of the time when I'm using it, you really can't even tell that you're changing unless you're kind of going down to stop, in which case the engine braking is pretty strong. But yeah, the quick shifter and blipper is a great addition to this bike, but you'd expect it from a Panigale, let's be honest. And then fuel economy. I thought this thing would be thirsty. I thought she'd be a thirsty gal. But we've actually been filling up at around 150 miles to a tank. It's got a 15 litre tank. And, you know, it's got a bit more left in there. So I do reckon 170 miles to this tank is achievable. Now, moving on to my cons, because putting 800 miles on this bike, I found a few things that I don't necessarily love. So first things first, the clutch is a fair bit heavier than I was expecting. I thought it'd be a lot lighter, And there's a lot of town work because we're doing a lot of stop-offs in lots of different towns whilst we're in Belgium. You know, there's a lot of riding on the cobbles and riding quite slow and feathering that clutch. And, you know, just pulling it in it's a bit hard work through the towns or through really, really heavy filtering. But obviously a quick shifter and auto blipper, when you're on the go, you don't actually have to use your clutch hand at all unless you're stopping or starting. So that's really nice, but yeah, it is a little bit heavy if you're doing a bit of town work. Another thing that is a bit of a con, the mirrors are absolutely useless when you're high up in the revs accelerating. It's just a vibey V-twin, isn't it? And you can't really see much out of them. But as long as there's not blue lights that appear in them, then it's fine. That's all you're looking out for when you're on something like this, because it's a speed demon. Another thing that's a con, a bit of a personal con for me, the height. It is really, really tall, and yeah, it's not the most practical for me. But you know what? I am actually managing it all right. I'm managing it better than I thought I would for a bike of this height. And just the riding position, because obviously when you leant forward, it kind of means that your back's a bit out and your legs don't quite reach the floor as well as if you're upright. But yeah, I am coping all right, but it would be nice if it was a little bit lower for me. But it is what it is, I guess. And if you're tall, then that's probably a pro, right? Another thing, it doesn't sound like it likes to start. And I get that it's probably a modern Ducati thing, but when you're just firing it up and you're on the starter button and it's going or or a seal. So it might actually prove me wrong now, but we'll see if it is a slow start. Wasn't that bad then, but it has been worse on the trip. It has sounded like, is it gonna start? Is it not? But ultimately it always does, but it's just a bit annoying. Clutch fully in with 4 fingers. I guess it's because it's got a really small battery, but yeah, that's a bit disconcerting when everyone's leaving and you're like, please work. Another con, the heat of this bike. Now, Ducati in their press release of this have said that they have thermal regulated fairings or something like that. Just something to make it a bit less intense with the heat. But I've got to say, this, even though it is, in my opinion, slightly cooler than Panigales, they actually would roast your chestnuts. Whereas this might just warm them up a bit. It's not as bad, but it's still pretty damn hot. And especially around here on this fairing, it can be like, oh my gosh, that is really, really warm. And it's been glorious in Belgium. So maybe if it's a murky day in the UK, it won't be so bad. But if you're riding around hot climates or countries that actually have a summer, then yeah, it is a hot bike. There's no getting around it. You can try and say it's not a hot bike, you know, with all this fancy fairing, but it really is.
It's cold in the shade.
I don't know, I'm literally sat on a hot water bottle. I have my own free heated seat with the Ducati. You don't have to spec it up as an optional extra, you do just get a heated seat. It's quite nice. Another con, looks are subjective, but I am a little bit sad that they got rid of the single-sided swing arm. I did absolutely love that about the predecessor. But it does grow on you. It grows on you. But I know a lot of people are absolutely fuming about that, so I have to mention that in my cons. And then my final con is every bit of Ducati insignia that you can see on this bike, any logo, any branding, it's all stickers. And it's not even got a clear coat over it. They're literally stickers here for Ducati, stickers here with the Panigale V2 S, stickers on the front where it says Ducati. It's just stickers, and for a £17,000 bike, you know, I kind of would have expected it to at least be clear coated over, if not painted into the tank or the fairings. So that is a little bit disappointing in my opinion. To look at, they don't look like stickers. It's only really when you run your finger over them then it becomes quite obvious, and I think that's a bit of a shame. So, summary, conclusion, what do I actually think about this bike doing 800 miles on it so far? If I had a conventional job that didn't include motorbikes, and you know, motorbiking was something that I did when I got home or I'd book holidays for to go, you know, riding my bike, this is absolutely something that I would buy. I absolutely have loved riding it. The handling is another level, and I just feel like I gel with it. I just bond with it. It's not too extreme, but it's sporty enough that you still feel like you're on a Panigale. It's still got that Panigale DNA. They haven't watered it down too much in my opinion. The styling is great. You feel good when you're on it. It looks amazing. But yeah, I couldn't personally justify £16,995 on this bike because, you know, doing this job, we have to ride a lot of different bikes. But if I had to have a bike in the garage, I would absolutely own one of these. And I didn't think I'd ever say that about a sports bike because I usually find them wildly impractical. But I haven't struggled with this at all. I like the feeling. It just sounds great, handles mint, looks mint. I'm actually a little bit in love, if I'm going to be honest. And I did not expect that from a Ducati Panigale from a practical perspective as well as just an aesthetic one. So yeah, really good job Ducati, reinventing this Panigale V2 S. Absolutely love it. The looks have definitely grown on me. And yeah, I mean, I think saying I would own one is kind of the highest praise from me, so yeah. Well guys, what do you think about this Panigale? Are you still not sold? Do you still prefer the predecessor? Or has the new one grown on you? Have you ridden the new one? Have you experienced it? Let me know in the comments. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching this review on this sexy red Italian beast. And I'll catch you all on the next vlog. See you later. Bye!